Am I the a-hole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? Posted by You Throw RA and Letters. I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. And Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and they're looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like, how sad do you have to be a grown man taking your anger out on high school and college kids? So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and he was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "This is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played it up like being hard, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack like, "It's not that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still have my job. We were just acting. And we've done it a couple times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who would come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't really mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the a-hole for this joke? This could go either way. A lot of people would say no, you were not, and give you a 0 out of 10. Actually, that's what most people would think. It's a pretty interesting prank to see. Am I the a-hole for going too far with my punishment? Posted by Substantial Camel 598. My daughter is 13 now, and she loves TikTok. She'd be on it 24/7 if I didn't make sure that she did other stuff with her life. Up until now, it's been annoying for me and my husband, but bearable. I feel like this is partially our fault, as we're big pranksters. However, the pranks we do are harmless, like waking someone up and telling them they're a little late when they're actually right on time, and then revealing it 5 minutes later. Or making an extra portion of food for them and then doing the salt bottle prank. We always thought that we've instilled these values into our kids to make sure that they have everyone laughing at the end. Recently, our daughter shattered all of our rules by pranking my 17-year-old son. While my son was asleep, she walked into his room with his electric razor and shaved off a massive part of his hair. He was angry and immediately went into the bathroom to see the damage, where she came up behind him and shaved a large part off the back of his hair. She'd set up a camera in the bathroom and I looked at the video. She was giggling and having a grand time while doing it. Now, to him, his hair is a sensitive topic, as a couple of years ago, he had pretty bad hair by his standards, and over the past couple of months, he started to get his hair looking good and feeling happy with it. He puts a lot of effort into his hair, and he was devastated when this happened. He was obviously devastated and didn't want to go to school for the upcoming year. This year was pretty much the last year he'd have to be a teenager, because after this, he wants to go to med school, and it'll be high stress for the next 10 years. Now to him, his year is ruined. My daughter was saying, "Well, it's just hair and you're not even a girl, get over it," which made me furious. Me and my husband discussed, and we decided that she knew exactly what she was doing and she deserved to be massively punished. We're taking away her phone and giving her a Nokia. We're also going to be taking away her laptop and only giving it back to work on homework. We've decided to block all websites other than Google Drive and her school website. If she needs to look up something, she can ask us. We're also going to be grounding her for the next year as well, or until his hair grows back and looks as good as it did to him. We're doing this because we want her to realize the damage is not over with a simple apology, and his year has been ruined, and his mental health may well be down the toilet. Her aunt, my sister, who has always favored her in my opinion, is completely on her side, saying, "Oh, it's just a joke and it was funny, and we need to give her a small punishment only." I feel like her punishment is deserved, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe I'm being too harsh, taking a 13-year-old's phone and contact with friends away. Am I the a-hole? Well, I'm a dad, and I'm just going to straight up say, no, 0 out of 10, you are not. Kids need to understand the punishment when they do bad things like this, and this is a serious thing to the son, so yeah, this is a big deal, and it needs to be punished accordingly. You are not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for leaving little children in the pool? Posted by Chicken Nougat. I, 24, female, went to my niece's, 9, female, birthday party last weekend. Due to the world turning upside down, it's been a while since I've seen my nieces and nephews, so I was pretty pumped to finally see them. It was a pool party, so after being begged by my niece, I borrowed a swimsuit for my cousin and jumped in with the kids. This is where it gets weird. I was playing with my niece when 2 little girls, who I assume are my niece's friends, started clinging on to me. Yes, my niece was doing the same, but this is my niece. I changed her diapers and watched her since she was a baby. These girls, though, I had no idea who they were. My niece was still visibly upset and annoyed by her friends, but she included them in our game still. After a while, I just wanted to get out because one of the little girls started going underwater, grabbing my legs and trying to wiggle it. Not sure what her aim was. She was very touchy. It made me feel very weird. I've tried asking them to stop, but nothing. So I told my niece to go with her brother, he's 16, while I go dry up, and so I was fed up with these random kids. We were in the very shallow end, I think like it was 2 feet. I just left them there and opened a bottle of cold one with my cousins. Later on, some lady approaches me and tells me it wasn't very nice of me to leave her kids out like that. I asked her what she meant. I've never met this woman in my life. She berated me that it was my duty, as one of the adults in the pool, to ensure the children were safe and not left alone. I laughed and explained to her that I'm not a babysitter, I'm actually a guest, just like her. My cousin told her to knock it off, but the other moms kind of just glared at me. Am I the a-hole here? So to summarize, I went swimming with my niece and her friends start to crawl all over me and touch me, and I get out of the pool and I get confronted by their mom for leaving them. So they wasn't the only adult in the pool or by the pool, it looks like. This was a party, so there were lots of other adults there. So, if this was your kid, then yes, you absolutely would be. If not, I would at least just check with somebody, but say, hey, you got this kid, but it's ultimately not your responsibility. I think this person should have been watching their own kids because, hey, that's what you're supposed to do as a parent, right? Am I the a-hole for not sharing my car with my stepbrother? Posted by Star City Blues 45. My parents are divorced but cordial. My mother married my stepdad when I was 11. I have a stepbrother who is my age and a half-brother who is 4. My dad recently brought me a new car for my birthday. My brother also had bought a car, which he bought with his money. It was secondhand but in good condition. Just a few days after I got my car, he had a crash in which his car was severely damaged. This was not the first time he was reckless with a car, and earlier he'd almost crashed his father's car as well, with me in the back seat and his father in the front. It's one of those reasons my stepdad refused to buy him a car. A few days back, when I returned from my friend's house who lived nearby, I saw my car gone from the driveway. I immediately ran into the house and started looking and asking my mom and stepdad about it. My stepdad looked bewildered, but my mom calmly got up from her seat and told me she'd given my car to my stepbrother to go visit his friends, who lived quite some distance away. I started to panic and asked her why she would do that. She simply said it's what siblings do, and then from then on, me and my stepbrother could use the car on alternate days. By this point, my stepdad had come over to us and told her she shouldn't have done it without my permission. He told her that if anything happened to the car, then she would have to pay. She agreed. Well, something did happen. Stepbrother crashed the car, hood and headlights and airbags needed to be replaced. I informed my father about this, and after assessing the damage, he's learning what led to this, he immediately said, either the stepbrother or the mother has to pay for the part of the repair cost, which the insurance doesn't cover. My mother tried to negotiate, but he wouldn't budge. She asked stepdad and he wouldn't help either, so she had to give the money from her savings. Yesterday, after the car had come back from the mechanic, she came to me and asked for my car keys. I asked what was up, and she reminded me of the alternative day policy. I told her that she was out of her mind to even think that I would share the car with my stepbrother after all this. But she just said she had promised the stepbrother his share of days, and that it's also the reason she had the car repaired so that both of us could use it. I took the car keys and locked the door of my room. She then called me ungrateful. My stepbrother said I was depriving him of meeting his friends and he was suffering. My stepdad later came and put stop to it. The only reason I think I might be the a-hole is because I know my stepbrother wasn't lying about his mental health issues. He's had to see a therapist because of it. His friends have been really helpful in his struggle with his mental health, and my mother did say that she would pay for the damages. So, I don't know, should I just give my stepbrother another chance? Am I the a-hole? Also, I did offer to drive my brother to his friends, but he straight up refused, saying it would embarrass him. Well, no, 0 out of 10, you are absolutely not. He has shown himself to be irresponsible with this car, and he should not be the one that is, taking your car like this. You shouldn't be on the hook. He should be liable. There are other ways. There are Ubers. There are other things you offered. No, you are completely fine. I would agree with you that you're doing the right thing. Comment the secret phrase below, and that's, I like this video. Be sure to like the video if you enjoy these types of stories. I put them out all the time. My name is Austin. Thank you for watching.